if I brought home somebody who was 20 years my senior.
Yeah. Never you say my senior.
Is it not true? Are they not my senior?
For example, now a woman who is way older than the man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine like her and her like such a woman does not want to be told anything. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard to try and like tune her to something different.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Majuu Diaries. My name is Raimo.
And my name is Njeri. Karibuni sana, fellow Majuu mates. Welcome back. We've missed you as always. Kishis. And if you're new here, karibu. We are Majuu Diaries and we are Kenyans in the Majuu USA, just trying to figure out life, circumnavigate izo zote. And if you haven't done the thing and you have binged watched all our previous episodes and you're here this new one, na bado huja do the thing, unangoja, go ahead, just do it
now.
It's free. Support us and karibu.
Yes, welcome. You look very beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
All
I'm
those
channeling
colours.
I'm channeling my anaitwa ni Velma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Velma.
Yeah.
Sio Welma.
Sijui. Sino umevaa.
Aya ni ile Scooby-Doo, the girl who used to wear the
It's
purple
Velma.
dress.
It's Velma.
Thank you so much. No, you look nice. That's the first thing I told her when I saw her in the dress. I was like, "Ay, karembo, look nice."
Hii ni ile dress ya kumit in laws.
I
Yenye
see.
ina cover kila.
Enough, it sweeps the floor.
Sweeps the floor, covers everything, yes.
But anyway, today we have an interesting conversation. We are going to be focusing on relationships for a few episodes, kidogo too.
Yeah.
And today we are going to be talking about relationship gaps in relationships or marriage. But okay, yes, zote by the tukona experience kadhaa.
A few short stories
A
to
few
share.
short stories. And as always, we always let Madam Warimu
Oh my God.
start us off. Go
Say
ahead.
myself.
Oh,
So as
myself.
Njeri has said, we're talking about age gaps in relationships, and we're gonna, just do different things over here. So we want to talk about like, kind of like maybe the challenges or not really effects of if you're in a relationship and there's a big age gap. Maybe let's first lay the foundation. Is it the age gap between when the woman is way older or when the man is way older, or because both of them present different challenges?
Yeah.
And I put challenges because it's not always a challenge for anybody in those kind of relationships. So let's start when the man is older than the woman.
Yes.
And how many years is considered like normal to the mubabas? When do you qualify to when does the mubaba start as
Goodness. I think that's a point of preference.
Okay.
Like for me, back in my dating days, I would do at most 10 years.
Okay.
So for me, beyond that, now I'm kind of looking at you sideways, and now other things play into how successful will that relationship be.
True.
Now that's me dating an older guy. Now for me dating a younger guy, the lowest I went was 6 months.
Okay.
Anything under that for me, it was just an instant turn off. By the way, maybe I could have met someone who is amazing, but nilisikia, oh, you're how old? I just shut down automatically. You're not telling me anything.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I almost missed out on a great opportunity
Tuambie.
by that mentality.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who taught us. I don't know if it's the society, but there's some truth to it. Of course, they say women develop differently than men. Like a woman at 23 is not at the same mental level as a 23-year-old male.
The
man.
frontal lobe has not fully developed.
But
Yeah.
there's norms in the society.
Yeah.
There's always norms in the society. So I could have missed that, because me, I came like, no, you gotta be way older than me, because that's what we saw, we were taught, and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I almost missed that, because I came in with the same. When I first met my husband, I was like,
Yeah. What are you
no,
telling me?
What are you telling me? Just before I almost like dismissed it completely. And I remember it was like, I think the first or second conversations. I think even it was the first phone call that we ever got on. And even before we got on a phone call, when he was kind of DMing me on Instagram and stuff, I was like, this man is different. This man be different, you know?
Anointing.
I'm like, I've never had a man talk to me the way he did. It just felt so different and so mature, and so like, a man who's not taking you around in circles at the,
he's not confusing you.
He's not confusing you. Because me, I was just so used to situationships. You like what they keep you here, but not close enough to feel like you're there yet. Just here, casting to kind of. But no, the way he talked to me was just so respectful. And I remember that one phone call that I brought up the age issue.
Yeah.
Hey, me, I cannot tell you, Njeri, what it is that he said to me, but I'm telling you, 5 years later, of knowing him, it has never, ever been an issue.
That's beautiful.
It was just such a great display of maturity for me that I had never seen with men who I dealt with, who are way older than me. So don't miss out on your blessing. If there's an opportunity that there's the person you're talking to, if they're younger than you and your woman, there's an opportunity that person could be an anomaly.
Yes.
So don't miss out on that opportunity. But when all is said and done, some of the things you were talking about, like some of the things that could be present, I know you mentioned if it's like 10 years, after 10 years it's like, like how does a society look at people who are dating way older men than what are those social dynamics like? So of course
the first thing in the dynamic of where the man is older, extremely, let me not say extremely, because again it's preference and
it's subjective
as well. So if I brought home somebody who was 20 years my senior,
never you say my senior.
Is it not true? Are they not my senior? Because this is how I used to view things.
Medicare already.
Funny thing is, now that I'm 30, if one of my girlfriends who is 30 tells me she's dating a 50-year-old man, sitashtuka sana. I'm like, oh, okay, he's mature. That's interesting. Yeah. Good for you. Da. But now if we were 20 and then you're telling me you're dating someone who is 40. Sugar daddy. Wow, look at you securing your future. So there's that unfortunate automatic thought of she's just using him for the money. But I actually want to bring up a biblical story, Ruth and Boaz. It says Boaz was an older guy, and we see it in how the Bible explains when Boaz met her when she was at the feet. And he says, you could have gone to a younger person, something like that, something along those lines. And everyone usually say, oh, I'm waiting for my Boaz. Do you know Boaz is older? Are you ready for that? Please, as you're proclaiming these things, you really need to do a deep dive and see truly what are you saying about Boaz. Yes, Boaz was well established, 1. 2, he was a respectable man in the society. 3, he was willing to take he was willing to take over his what is it called? You know how when somebody dies and then they are left a widow?
Oh, like he was there, like basically to be the kinsman redeemer of Ruth's family.
So that's when that type of situation comes up where my friend tells me I met somebody, he's a bit older, he's 60 years old, but he checks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who am I to argue? Whomst am I? And so this is me not discouraging or encouraging, but it's just it's just a career. Something, 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 hey, something. Okay,
It's okay, just go with
Imetoka.
something.
Something to think about.
Mhm.
So, and then I'm a very open-minded person,
Okay.
personally.
Mhm.
So, if that's what God has said, okay.
Absolutely.
Now it will be awkward when it comes to like bringing them in your family or
Yeah.
introducing your friends, if especially if majority of your friends are the same age group, like within the 5 years. Okay, now you're bringing a 60-year-old man to
Yeah.
the kickback.
Mm-hmm. You know that is so funny. That reminds me. I don't know if you watched Friends. No, you haven't watched Friends. Jerry tutarab Friends. Anyway,
Basi turab.
Hapana. For those who've watched Friends, there's this character called Monica. When she was around 26, she fell in love with a guy who was her dad's friend. His
Oh,
name
okay.
was Richard. And
Hey, that's tricky.
I know, but it's very interesting.
Uh-huh.
They were very much in love.
Okay.
Of course, and it's so interesting that we are talking about this because it kind of lays out that foundation. They met, they were in love and all that stuff. He was about 50, so he was like almost 25.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah, about 25 years older than her, but you could tell they were really in love.
Yeah.
And some of the issues that started, of course, the first time that they had to tell the parents that they were actually dating. Of course, it was the parents were like, "That's my friend,"
Exactly.
It was a big issue, but everybody let go and they did it. They were very much in love. The reason why they ended up breaking up was she was young enough to want kids, but he had already done the kids thing and he didn't want kids anymore.
Tricks.
Yeah. But you could tell if you watch Friends. Tell me, maybe I may be wrong, but the love between Monica and Richard was a real love, which I feel like as long as you're together for action, like the love is really, it's not, because nowadays the girls are not wanting to work anymore. The girls are
I'm
not
one of
working.
them. I don't want to work. I just want
The
to
girls
sit
just want a soft life.
Soft
Like, I don't know
life.
when and it's okay, to each their own. The girls do not want, but then it's like, okay, are you now just going to sacrifice everything you could have ever wanted to be or do just to be pretty much probably like a trophy wife to somebody?
Yeah.
And now your life revolves around them, and unless you have the brains to know, like, okay, I am a kept woman, but I can still do something with, if I have like an allowance or something, I have something I can do with that money to build for myself too. So I don't know, I just feel like the notion that I don't have to work, I can just get someone to pay my bills, that doesn't sit very well with me personally. Again, it's my personal opinion. It's a PP. It does not have to be the fact. It's just a personal opinion. I feel like it takes out a little bit of value in a woman if all she gets to do is just, you don't, especially the ones who just get into relationships, like there's no love, you don't really love that man. It's just, you're just there for the
But
financial
sprinkle.
Yeah.
I love that woman, Aki.
I hear what she's saying.
Hey,
But
take it with a grain of
take
salt.
it with a grain of salt, because for there's a trade-off somewhere. You're getting all that. Yes, you're gonna get all that money, you're gonna get that lifestyle, but what are you giving?
Exactly.
There has to be a trade-off somewhere, and if there's no love involved, you're pretty much
But here's the
selling
thing,
yourself.
Werimo, men were commanded to love their wives, not the women. Yes, of course, let me not say of course, but for women, it comes easier to love a man, yeah?
But if you don't already love them, if there's no love for them,
oh, okay, that's not your problem, is it?
but how do
See,
you
your
live with
husband
someone
was-
you don't love?
Let's think about how things were in the Bible, yeah?
Okay.
Especially let's think about Isaac and his wife ilikuwa ni Rebecca.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, Rebecca was just brought to him, and it says Isaac immediately loved her. That was his job as a husband. He loved her, and I assume she respected him. And it is my hope that she grew to love him. Because what? Okay, let's think about it. Why do you think God told the man you must love your wife, and he tells us to respect?
Because they know men are not naturally like they. Let me say this: men know how to respect, but they don't know how to love. So they are commanded to do the thing that doesn't come naturally to them.
Okay. So yeah, if your husband loves you 1,000% and you don't love him, but you respect him, I know love is important, but I think there's some form of, how do I say it? I think there's some form of connection that happens when, yes, your husband loves you, and yes, you respect him. Even if you don't love him, it will somehow, some way, some which come. I think that's what I think, because I think about arranged marriages, especially within the Asian community, the Indians. Yeah, those people work. They make it work. Are they happily married? Some are, some aren't. And I think it's a mindset thing that, okay, my husband loves me. He does 1, 2, 3, and he shows 1, 2, 3. Me as a wife, let me respect him. Let me support him. Let me be the helper that I've been called to be. I think it just it works somehow, because they still do it to date.
Must be noise. I don't. Maybe me. I'm just imagining like, okay, as a woman, we have so much love and affection to give.
Yeah.
So if it's just a transactional kind of thing where it's just money, so everything else you're doing for this person is just, even like when you're making love, it's just a transactional thing, because you're not doing it out of the abundance of love you have for this person. You're doing it because I have to do it because I'm getting something in return. I can see, but and this is the thing with those like arranged marriages and stuff like that. People who really understand the concept of respecting a man, those are the marriages that really, really last long, because for a marriage to really survive, it's understanding, loving, and respect, right? Maybe my thing is I would love to understand how they approach the issue of intimacy, because if I only had respect for my husband and I didn't have love for him, I would feel like, okay, he's just like this person I respect all over there. But what draws me close to him is the intimacy that comes from the love I have for him, that makes me want to do the things I do with him, that makes me want to be in his presence and be intimate and all that stuff, that has nothing to do with what I get from him. So I don't know, maybe people can see respect as a way of like loving. I don't know. I just don't get it.
I hear what you're saying, and as you're talking, I was trying to process. I think when a man loves you right, you will automatically soften your heart
to love him back.
Yes.
Okay.
Because think about it. If someone always does great things for you,
that's true.
You grow fond of them. Yeah. So if your man truly loves you the way he's supposed to love you, at some point, uta melt too.
That's true.
He'll bring you flowers.
When a woman is loved right, she does.
She will. Now that's when we bring in femininity. Yeah. Unasikia mtu anasema my feminine energy is high or low. I really, and when you love a woman right, she will. What's the thing? I think it's Miles Monroe said, women are, what do we call, we're incubators. Like we grow whatever you sow into us. You will see the fruit of it. So if you love her right, you will. Have you ever seen women unasema huyo she's loved by her husband?
So I have a question.
Ask.
I don't know if you watch the Kenyan YouTubers there. Let me say this. When we talk about, a woman being loved right, what does that love just have to be financial? Because I feel like the society has really made it so commercialized. Like you look at people like, the Wajiza's family, unfortunately. Majority of it is, oh, my husband bought me this, my husband got me this, oh, I'm the most loved woman, oh, I feel like it's very financially driven. And when in our society, unfortunately, a woman who is showered more with money and all that stuff is what we stamp as, oh my gosh, she's loved the most.
No. Okay, Yes to what you're saying.
Mhm.
I was saying no to what you were. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
No to saying just because you have money that means, and you shower your wife with it, does not mean you
Love her.
love her. Yeah. I mean, being married, I've learned so much. There's more to it than just the gifts. The gifts are great.
Mhm.
You know, you come and show us on Instagram, oh, my husband has bought me this. Nga, nga, nga.
Yeah.
But is he treating you right? Is he communicating effectively? Is he listening to the is he acknowledging and listening to the things that are problems to you? Is he working on that? Is he
There's so
is he
much.
praying over you? Is he those type of things? That's love.
I know.
Money you can get anywhere.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, unfortunately,
Yeah.
our society,
Yeah.
like, they've really attached the value of love for a woman to money. Like, if a man is not spending on you, he doesn't love you. Like,
Yeah.
it's the thing that is focused on the most. But
Yeah.
we're not talking about those deeper things in a relationship that actually make
Yeah.
the relationship thrive, like that emotional deepness and
Yeah.
connectivity, the spiritual connection, like being one and united in all the different spheres, you know. So and that's why, like, going back to the age gap, it's like some women have felt that only an older man can provide the financial and then, I mean, it is true, women love security.
Yeah.
It's a
Financial
fact.
security.
It's a fact that we can state that women love financial security, and it's like the only way they can get that is by being with somebody who is like years and years older. But my thing is, it's okay to be with somebody who is doing that, but let it be a mutual, like, as
Yeah.
long as you're not using that person financially.
Yeah.
Because we've heard horror stories of women who
Yeah.
get married to older men, and within a very short period of time that man dies and she takes everything. And we know there was some foul play with all that. So as long as you're not doing it out of a malicious intent,
Yeah.
there's actual love and respect involved, why not?
Why not?
But you have to be able to deal with this questions from family, people looking at you sideways, you having to defend your relationship all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, something you gotta have to deal with.
Kwanza wale wasichana wa pwani wa aki poleni. I judged you, all of you, so I
Why?
don't.
What are they doing?
No, like nini when the tourists come, the old white men, then you see a young girl. But anyway, some may be true love, some may be, of course, the financial security aspect. But let's jump into life stages for age gaps.
Age gaps, yeah.
What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts?
Your friend has said, I have a 60-year-old man and I love him and we're getting married. And
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, it takes a lot life stages. So, say if the girl is and I'm drawing from people's experiences. Like, I know this. I don't know if you know Fashionable Stepmom from Kenya. She's a beauty influencer. I love her. Her and her husband, they have like an 18-year age gap.
okay.
So by the time she met her husband, he already had kids.
Yeah.
He was in a very different stage of life than her, but they never used that as a reason to not be together.
Yeah.
And by his support, he's really helped her build herself up. And right now, say for example, financially, she's at almost the same level as him, you know. So the truth of the matter is, if you date somebody who's 20 years older than you,
Yeah.
if they've been, because life can happen,
Yeah.
and they're nothing, you know, they never make anything out of their own life, but more than likely they'll be either more financially stable than you, they'll probably have more education than you, they'll have maybe some children involved,
Yeah.
some businesses or something. They'll be at a different stage of life than you are, even congosity wise, the way they think and reason, and even just some of the things. Some people who are like over 50,
Yeah.
they don't give to about anything. They don't really care.
Yeah.
They've been through it.
Yeah, they're like, been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Like nothing really stresses them out that much.
Yeah.
You know, they just stop caring in a good way. But now, if it's like a 20-year-old girl, that's the time like you have all these emotions and all these feelings. Like they may not be emotionally sensitive to your needs as you would want. Again, this is maybe because you don't know how that person will be. So you'll definitely find yourself in different, like you're trying. It's not like me dating my peer, because we're kind of in the one way in the same
same boat.
It's not even the same way. We are either both millennials or we are both Gen Z or whatever. We are we've experienced the same issues. But if I'm dating a baby boomer, some of their stories and stuff I don't relate. The movies they watched, I don't relate, and the movies I'm watching and wanting to watch, I'm not relating. You know, those are some of the things I see in that aspect.
Okay, so we've talked about when the man is older. I'm trying to think of when the woman is older.
Yeah.
Those are not common stories that we've come across. I've seen a few online. There's this gosh, is she a musician, or is the husband a musician? And it was a big thing in Kenya.
The Wambua, was it Wambua, Mary and
and they have dreadlocks.
Oh, no. Oh, you're talking about Guardian Angel.
Yeah,
and
I don't know that.
Yeah, you're talking about Guardian Angel and his wife. She's 50 and he's like 30. You know, he's younger.
It's a good
them.
gap. Yeah,
I know them very well.
So
well,
now,
not very well, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So now I'm like thinking in those scenarios.
Yeah.
She's 50. That's menopausal age. God is a God of miracles. He can give you a child at any age. We saw Sarah getting Isaac.
Yeah.
But what do those conversations look like? You know, does he want children? And
those are things they have definitely had extensive conversations about.
What does that look like when that need changes? You know? You know how the Bible says that the wife of my youth, your wife, that is the wife of your current youth, but she's way older. Like, how do you navigate the respect aspect? Yes, I'm 50. I've lived life longer. I've gone through way more experiences. And then here you are, my husband, you're 30. It's a 20-ish age gap. And you're telling me, let's go down this route. But me, I know if we go down this route, 1, 2, 3 is going to happen. So, hey, guys, if that is you, please comment. Let us know.
Yeah.
I know our audience is not typically ladies in that age group, but if you happen to stumble on this episode, please let us know. How do you navigate those type of situations, those type of scenarios? If he wants children and you're way past baby bearing age, but again, we serve a wonderful miracle working God. Like, how do you navigate that?
Again, I think one, for those two, they have fought so much societal expectations and norms or whatever, that honestly I feel like it's one of the most unbreakable couples ever. Because for them to come out and say we are getting married, like it's easier for society to accept an older man marrying a younger woman than a younger man marrying an older woman. Because one, we just have to trust that their relationship with God is solid. That's what we have to trust. And that the understanding of the woman that even if I am older, that does not in any way make me the one who wears the pants in the family. I still, because she signed up for this, and if you're gonna do it God's way, that's it. If you're gonna do it in the world has their own standards. But if you're gonna do it God's way, the way He has institutioned He has created the institution of marriage. That means whatever standard He has set, whether you are 25 years older than your man, then you still gotta respect him. He still got to be the man of the family. He's still your head. and you should have known all these things while getting into the marriage. So my hope and prayer is that they had these conversations before, because those dynamics are going to play out. People are going to keep asking. Of course, people have asked multiple times, and they keep asking, don't you want children? Why would you marry an older woman and stuff like that? So that have already answer if you want to engage people about it. If you don't, just leave them on red and live your life, because they seem happy. They seem very content. They seem like they're having a great life together. They're serving God together. So why not? If it's glorifying God, why not?
Inakuhusu nini?
Ya kuhusuni. Huh? Leave them alone. Let people live their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because
Because it's not you. Whether they want children and they can get, again,
mind your womb.
Mind your womb. It's none of your business. We already talked about this. We did.
As you're talking, I thought of that controversial TikTok of how so it's kind of similar to the story ile ya friends, but now here's the thing. The guy knew the daughter of his friend, ever since he's known his friend. Like, he's known his friend the whole time, and then the daughter came into the picture, and then now at what, I don't remember what age it was. However, there was a point where they both now got together.
Okay.
How do you know if you're being groomed? Because now this is somebody you used to call uncle. He's seen you as a child.
Yeah.
You've grown now, you're 18 of legal age, and then you're saying me and uncle are in love. Guys,
that's a good one. That is a good one. Like, how do you tell you are not being groomed?
Exactly.
Or if it's actually real love? But how was he coming around? Maybe the question is, how was he coming around her when she was younger? Like, was he actually respectful? Was it?
No,
we don't know
the details.
We don't know the details.
But what does that even look like? Because I it's so hard for me. If they were just two strangers, fine, I'm okay with that. Age gaps, blah, blah, blah. But now the fact that you've seen me grow up, you've seen me in Pampers.
There's a problem with that. Because we have to bring up the issue of some of those the kind of evils or immoralities that are in our society. Because, and I'm not saying this man was a pedophile or anything like that.
Yeah.
Could it have been something that started like he was longing for her since she was,
maybe she was a
young.
teenager when she started growing to nyonyos. He was like, wow.
And that's a pedophile mindset right there. Like, if you're going to have such kind of feelings for someone who is underage, that's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, kudos for you waiting until she's of age to do something, but still, if you are honestly having all these feelings about her when she was a baby, young and underage, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
I'm feeling the
it's very
thinking about it.
Very the
Hey guys, so I guess unspoken rule: avoid your parents' friends.
Yeah.
Especially those who saw you grow up. Sasa, unless God says otherwise, then we'll mind our business. But that one is just, it's
icky.
Because now, how do you even look at your friend?
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me you love my daughter, and at some point, I know you guys are going to get intimate. My daughter. And we were best friends in high school, me and you. You can't convince me. I'm sorry.
This one is true. That one
You
is
can't
difficult.
convince
Please give us your input, guys. That one is tricky. Like, should you just let love be love at that point, or just like it's no?
I feel
'Cause-
like it's borderline like marrying your a
daughter.
relative.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was. It feels like incestish.
Mm.
Yeah, like avoid. Yeah, no. If you want a younger girl like that, you go a little further outside your friend group.
Yeah.
Your friends' daughters.
Hi.
Oh my god.
Even if they say, "Oh, the person you're looking for is right in front of you," please look left.
I know. I know. I think the other thing we're talking about
Excuse me.
based on the age gap in relationships that could kind of pose as a challenge is like the difference in like shared interest or lack of shared interest, you know, like,
Mnaangaliana tu.
and hobbies, exactly, you know, or even like, oh, this man goes to bed at 7
Early to bed, early to rise.
you know, having to deal with as the choice of, even simple as the choice of music,
Yeah.
the things you can do together, how late you can stay, how active they are. Let's look at Modern Family.
Yeah.
You watch Modern Family?
I love modern. Ooh, Phil Dunphy. We're like this.
You know, like Jay and Gloria trying to find something that they can do in common together.
Yeah.
You know, he just wants to take a nap
And golf.
sleep and golf, you know, at some point. So if you're gonna have a big age gap in your relationship, like there has to be that willingness to try
Yeah.
your partner's
Exactly.
things, no matter how out of age they are for you. So if he loves to go sit down and listen to rumba all night,
Haki. By the way,
you might have to start loving rumba and watch piano kando for you know, leave piano for a second and go listen to rumba, you know.
no, but that's tricky because I'm just thinking about my marriage now with Jacques. Like, there are some things he loves and I don't care about, and vice versa. And I can't imagine how much more difficult it is with somebody who's older. And then now we even have we have to consider, what do we call, dietary restrictions. I can't eat red meat. Oh, I can't have spices. Oh, I can't.
Salt.
I. No, those are definite challenges that you can overcome, but
Yeah.
you will definitely have to go through them because
Absolutely. You signed up for it.
you signed up for it.
Yes, but it's so interesting because, as you said, those things, shared interest and hobbies and stuff like that, they apply to even what you call normal age gap relationships. So, but it's a little bit more heightened and more exaggerated when it comes to long, you know, like say for example now a woman who is way older than the man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine like her and her like. Such a woman does not want to be told anything. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard to try and like tune her to something different.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining trying to bridge that gap and find shared hobbies with a way older woman. There has to be a lot of willingness.
There has to be
lot.
a lot of compromise.
A lot.
I think that's where you'll be truly stretched because babe, I want to go golfing. Okay, me, I want to go bowling. Both involve balls, so at least that's the common ground I'm seeing.
Jesus,
Don't listen to me, guys. I'm just hey. What else here? Future planning. Higher. I'm just going to use the example of an older man because the older woman stories sina mengi and sina. So future planning, and I think it kind of ties into like death. Let's just call a spade a spade. If your husband or person is way older, of course. No, let me not say of course, because we don't know when God is going to take you. But the probability is they will leave before you. So planning, you know, what do we call them? Wills. Planning how you'll navigate life post their departure, navigating family, because this person possibly could have had kids.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the family?
Yeah.
You know. Hi. Kai, those ones are the ones I usually am like, oh, the tricks, kiasi. What else? What else can we really talk about future planning?
I think that's majority of it, honestly. Like having a goodwill that states exactly what's supposed to happen when there's a
Yeah.
younger wife involved, probably an ex-wife and some children, and probably an estate.
Ooh, I have a question for you. Do you think it's unfair? Okay, so let's say the first wife of his youth, they divorced, nini, but they had kids. Do you think it's unfair for the man to leave more to his current wife than to his kids?
Is it unfair? I think it's a very subjective question, because what if he's already done so much for the kids where they're set, and this wife has been the biggest blessing of his life, has been the one who supported him and or even helped him, through her he's been able to make the most of his life.
Yeah.
I don't think it is essentially a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know what goes into the mind of someone who's making a will and trying to divide up between my current wife and the children. Hey, is it unfair? I don't think it's unfair.
Yeah.
Depending on the needs, because each person's need is different.
Yeah.
Because now maybe also she's gonna have to be left managing the things that he had built.
Yeah.
So she probably needs more than the kids do, because the kids have their education, they have their, hopefully they have all
assuming
again, because there's different scenarios. There could be like really younger kids who are not there. Like I would expect before he leaves the wife anything, if at least have their college funds set up, and that would mean less for the current wife, because he has to make sure the kids are set up for success. So it's a very, very many variables question, but as long as it's equitable, it doesn't have to be equal, it doesn't have to be more, it just have to be equitable.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's my view on it. What do you think?
You're wise. Me, I was instantly going to say, yeah, it's unfair. No, but you brought up good points, because I was coming from the point of, okay, first of all, I don't even know how your relationship is with his previous wife's kids. One, because already there's that tension of, you've married someone my age.
Yep.
Okay. So there's that tension there, right there. Two, I was also thinking about how you didn't, how do I say this? You didn't get to deal with the new wife didn't get to deal with building the man up. You see. So the first wife is the one who is, just figuring things out with this man. They had children together, and then they called it quits. And then now he's met you when he's well established. Nini is a big man, aga what. And then when he passes, the second wife is the one who's being rewarded more than me, the first one who struggled. I was the one, Lego, build a man. I find that's me. That's how I view it,
That's
honestly. That's your points were, by the way, very valid, very wise, and I'm so glad.
No, your point is very valid too, because it would make anybody feel some type of way.
Yeah.
But the question is, then, have you really, if you got divorced, have you really let go? Because if you divorced, that man, unless he legally pays you alimony or any support, any financial support, any spousal support or whatever it is that he pays you, that is his only obligation if the divorce was involved. Other than that, anything else he leaves you is out of goodwill.
Hey, bo.
That's the unfortunate part of going through a divorce. Because once you get divorced, somebody, you sever all ties, and the only thing is a financial, is a legal obligation.
Yeah.
Everything else you get is out of goodwill. The only other obligation he has is to his children, not you as a wife. If he does anything for you, it's because I have enough respect for the mother of my children to leave her this and this. But it's not a you owe me. You did your part. That's the unfortunate part.
Inauma.
So hopefully the separation was amicable to the point where no love was lost, to where the person is willing. Because kama ilisha mbaya, my friend.
No. You know, that one's
It's difficult, but but you know what? It's easy for us to discuss these things when we are not there.
Aki.
It's so easy for us to give. You know, it should be like this. It's so easy for us to give our opinions. Lord have mercy, because we don't know. We really don't know what's be going on. We don't know.
We don't.
Yeah, we only draw stories from what we've seen or heard. We don't know. I have a question.
Okay.
It might be a little, salty, spicy.
Yes.
But do you think there's, of course, not for everybody.
Yeah.
Is there any level of mommy daddy issues when someone wants to be with an older man or older woman, where they just feel like they wanna feel like that's a mommy to me? You know, the whole issue of sugar mommy, sugar daddy, like, is there a small aspect of people who date older men have a little bit of daddy issue and the vice versa?
That's a great question. I think, what do I think? It's hard to tell. Reason being, again, if somebody loves you right, it will be automatic, your attraction in nini.
Yeah.
Now, if I go personally out of my way looking for older men specifically, because that's my preference, now I need to sit down and question myself. Okay, why does it have to be older? Why can't it be somebody within a 2 to 5 age gap? Like, why am I so hell-bent on somebody who's 15, 20 plus? So I think niyo ni swali ya kujiuliza, like, why am I truly looking for somebody older? And I'm just speaking as a woman looking for an older man. Now, vice versa, I think it's weird. I think it's weird. But now also when I think about other types of relationships, like how do we call it? There's a word they use, but I'll just have to describe the situation where one person is fully functional, like full body, and then their partner is like in a wheelchair type of thing. So I feel like it's one of those scenarios of there's someone for everyone. So that's also another aspect I look at when such a question arises, maybe deep down somebody they just don't gel with their age mates. And it is what it is. So
I know someone I went to school with, and they never, since I've never seen them be with anybody our age ever. They've always been with people who are way older, and that's just their thing. And they just felt like men our age are just not mature enough for her. She needs like
somebody who has been through it.
Mubaba, like someone mubaba. So to each their own. Again, to each their own. We have given you our ideas, our inputs, our opinions. Again, these are our personal opinions. They are not the truth. They are not, it's just our personal opinions. Please take them as opinions. And we want to hear your opinions too. Please let us know. Weigh in into this conversation and let us know what you feel. If you were a guy, would you be married? Not even just date and marry somebody who is like way older than you. What age is considered normal? What difference of age is considered normal, and what's just tuache kujicheza? Let's stop playing. But yeah.
Hey, anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in once again to Majuu Diaries. If you have not done the thing, do the thing. Please interact with us on our social media platforms. I feel like this is what you typically say.
I know we have switched.
But yes, guys, reach out to us. Send us an email, majudiaries@gmail.com. Nimewa miss. I don't know why you guys are not communicating. And also let us know what you'd like to see. We will continue singing this song until you guys tell us what do you want to see. Tumesikia you like us more than our visitors. And that's okay, but our visitors come with a wealth of knowledge that we don't have.
Yeah.
But tumewasikia.
Yeah.
Tumewasikia.
I think someone said they really enjoyed the AITA episode.
Yes.
That we should have more of those.
Oh, okay. Sawa. We will work on it. We will work on it. But yes, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.